This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's the Kwicky Koala Show, brought to us by Hanna-Barbera. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D, and this, of course, is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, today's Saturday Morning TVLog is the Kwicky Koala Show. An animated series originally produced by Hanna-Barbera along with Hanna-Barbera Pty Limited, who recently worked on Drat Pack the previous year. Came out, in 1980, because this was from 1981. My apologies for getting ahead of myself. The show originally premiered on CBS in September of 1981 and ended in 1982. The series is notable for being among one of the final works of the late great Tex Avery, who of course created the title character. He died during production in 1980. As this show was actually produced in Australia, this show is probably pretty much an underrated show in ways, but it's cute in ways. Anyway, now, the show had 16 episodes produced and aired. Each had 3 full tunes and... let me see if I can remember this correctly. Yes, 3 little interstitials. Now then. Now our interstitials are provided by the Bungle Brothers, a pair of beagles named George and Joy. And they seek vaudeville stardom. And they're always up to something. It always turns out to be a real big bungle in the end. Now, that starts before each of the cartoons. Similar to what Droopy did in the Tom and Jerry comedy show, which premiered the previous year, but was still being rerun at the time on CBS. Now, the first segment is the world's quickest marsupial. Yeah, you thought Tasmanian Devil was one? Not really. Kwicky Koala, voiced by writer Bob Ogle, who has written for lots of cartoons such as The Dick Tracy Show and recently Hanna-Barbera, Scooby-Doo, and Scrappy-Doo. He would later go on to voice Digger the Mole the following year in Shirt Tales. Anyway, Kwicky is similar to Droopy in ways, except he can escape his pursuer, Wilford Wolf. Anyway, the difference is that Kwicky moves at super speed, which looks like more like vanishing into thin air when accompanying beep sound effect, much like Speedy Gonzales. The animation shortcut used to facilitate this often went to extremes by making Kwicky disappear from one spot and reappear instantly in the next, with no intermediate smear frames. Although koalas are native to Australia, Kwicky has an American accent rather than an Australian accent. Anyway, yeah, I really liked watching this show. Of course, which I'll get to that in a little bit. The next character in the second cartoon is Crazy Claus. Crazy Claus is a wildcat, and he uses his sharp wits and equally sharp claws to evade fur trapper Rawhide Clyde and his dog Bristletooth in a U.S. National Park run by Ranger Rangerfield. And that's really something. Those segments are pretty good. The final segment is Dirty Dog. Now, Dirty is a vagrant Labrador retriever, and he seeks to improve life for himself and his friend Ratzo the Rat, while staying one step ahead of police officer Bullhorn. Yeah. Anyway, trying to find food, get a little bit of fame, or I don't know, what have you. Try to make money and what have you. But anyway, the show only ran for a season and ended. It continued in reruns, though. Excuse me for looking back at my TV. I've got the Croods, a new age of playing. But anyway, I thought this show wasn't too bad. I got introduced to this series as the USA Network later aired it. Now, unfortunately, later broadcasts on Cartoon Network and Boomerang were sourced from the PAL Masters rather than the actual NTSC Masters, like many other shows. And also, each segment, excluding the Bungle Birds, which were just about maybe a minute or less, well, had been shown separately as a filler between shows on Boomerang. Sometimes when they did shows from 1981, when they started doing that. But soon, however, after all these years, soon Boomerang had the show back restored, but still in a PAL format still, but restored with the Bungle Brothers segments. Anyway, now our cast of voices include Michael Bell, who of course was still at the time voicing Zan, half of the Spacey Wonder Twins on Super Friends, as George and Ranger Rangerfield. Doing the vocal effects of Bristletooth is Peter Cullen, who of course would later go on to do vocal effects for Sourpuss in the Pac-Man cartoon, as well as voice Mario in the Donkey Kong segment on Saturday Supercade and Optimus Prime on the original Transformers. Marshall Efron is Ratso. Matthew Faison is Officer Bullhorn. Jim McGeorge voices Crazy Claus. Yeah, I'm trying to look through my sources just to make sure I didn't miss anything important anyway. Oh, that reminds me. And Crazy actually is voiced by Jim McGeorge, impersonates Groucho Marx. Yeah, you better believe it. Let's see. Joy, half of the Bungle Birds, is voiced by Alan Melvin, who, of course, most of y'all know him best as Sam the Butcher from the Brady Bunch. And, of course, he's also voiced other characters like Hanna-Barbera's Magilla Gorilla and also, well, characters from other shows such as the Chattanooga Cats and recently the Filmation series version of Flash Gordon. Rawhide Clyde is voiced by Don Misick, someone who's certainly no stranger to Hanna-Barbera, of course, still voicing a certain Scooby-Doo at the time of the original voiceover. And actually, the same year this came out, he was also the voice of Papa Smurf on The Smurfs, which actually premiered the same year. Now, of course, I've mentioned Bob Ogle does Kwicky Koala. Wilfred Wolf is voiced by John Stephenson, and he voiced him in the style of Paul Lynde, who, of course, he recently did that for Mildew Wolf in the Laugh Olympics, which, of course, Lynde actually voiced him in the Chattanooga Cats segment, It's the Wolf. And finally, Dirty Dog is voiced by voice god Frank Welker, and he voices this character in the style of Howard Cosell. Anyway, this show is a whole lot of fun. I think you might want to give it a try. Now, World Vision released a video cassette in the late 80s, and several episodes were released on. Well, one episode was released on the Saturday Morning Cartoons of the 1980s collection. In 2016, the Warner Archive released the complete series. As a manufacturer on demand title, you could probably get it for a reasonable price, maybe. Just depends on where you get it. So anyway, I'd say give the Kwicky Koala Show a go for it if you've never seen it. But if you've seen it, please tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Big D Nation. Sorry, I got hit. I'm just trying to go rapid fire. My bad. Anyway, be a part of the Big D Nation, people. Okay, and I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Join me next Saturday morning when I talk about the first of the two anime adventures of the bumbling Gilligan himself in the New Adventures of Gilligan. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, check out these recent Saturday Morning TV logs. In the upper left-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log I did for Shirt Tales last year. The upper right-hand corner is the Saturday Morning TV log I did for the Tom and Jerry Comedy Show. Or, if you want to catch up, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my recent Saturday Morning TV log of the Mighty Heroes. And the bottom right-hand corner is a button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. And I'm always proud to bring you Saturday Morning TV log since Saturday Morning's been dead for some time. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.